Well, Rob Baxter Chiefs into their first European final must be absolutely delighted.
Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it? It's a great achievement for the club, but massively a great achievement for the players and obviously coaches who've worked so hard to put plans together. But with all that, I'm not going to sit here and say everything's amazing because we've got to play in a final and we've got to go and win it. That's the reality. I've just said to the players, let's not just turn up for an occasion. Let's get out there and put a performance in that gives us the chance to win it, and let's prepare to win it. Today we prepared to win. We were prepared to win the game today. You can see that in the way we played. The way the guys glued the performance together today was fantastic. They got exactly what they deserved. They worked extremely hard and they got what they deserved over the 80 minutes.
You had to weather an early storm for Toulouse. They really came out the traps, didn't they?
They were always going to. Any good team is not going to just hand you a game. It's a European semi-final. They're desperate to win the whole competition. So we knew it was going to have its swings and roundabouts. The momentum's going to shift a bit. And as I said, I think the first 20 minutes had everything we wanted other than the scoreboard, because the ball had been on the pitch, there'd been a lot of movement, we'd made them work extremely hard. A little frustrating that they've obviously got their points, but they'd had to work extremely hard for them. A little bit like you saw last week with Northampton, because they'd worked extremely hard for them, it meant there was going to be a moment opened up for us in the game, and actually it did. And I actually think the players really drove it more than anything else, because things like tapping and going from 7 or 8 metres out because you feel the opposition are wilting. That's a great decision to make. I would have thought we probably should have kicked it at that stage, but to make that decision and then come to convert it like we did, it's credit to the players. You can't do anything else but credit the players for that mindset and that attitude, and they followed that through really well in the game. I thought we dropped up defensively a couple of times. I think for their late try, we could have been better then. I think we stopped playing and we looked for a kick in the wrong time and we weren't ready for it, and we got that a little bit wrong. But outside of that, I thought the lads were fantastic today.
Up against the two French international halfbacks, but Joe Simmons had a fabulous game and a great try to seal it effectively.
Well, he grew into it, didn't he? He grew into it because I think initially he was a little off. He probably could have attacked the line a little bit more. And as he grew in confidence and obviously started taking the message on, started to see what was going on, he started to attack the line a little bit more. He actually started to make the odd break in the second half. One obviously which led to the try, but he made a couple of other good momentum moments for us as well. I think he grew through the game, which is bound to, and that was very important for us. But overall, I just think I've got to congratulate the coach and staff. I think Ali and Rob, Ricky, Jules, Tate, they put together a fantastic game plan out there, and then you've got to credit the players for the hard work they put into it, because the hard work they put into it is what's won us the game.
Nice that the finals at Ashton Gate. You don't have to travel too far. That's going to help somewhat, I would imagine.
It is. But I think it's like anything. The fact there's no crowd, and the fact obviously they weren't going to use the first nominated stadium in France. Really, and effectively, it should be in England because we're the top seeds through. If we weren't the top seeds through, if it was racing, it would be in France. So we've been rewarded with our form earlier in the competition, which would normally be the case. Other than obviously, you tend to get a nominated stadium when you can have a crowd. I think if someone said to me, would I rather go to Ashton Gate with no crowd or go to Marseille with 12, 15,000 extra Chiefs supporters, I know what I prefer. I'd rather go to France and see the day with them. But if that can't be the case, the less travel we've got to do, the better.
That's the frustration, isn't it? That the fans aren't here to enjoy this moment with you.
Yeah, it is frustrating, and I think everyone looks at the situation differently. Personally, I'm very much of the belief that we should all be responsible for ourselves, and if we open up the stadium, people can be responsible whether they come or not, and whether they wear face masks or not, or whether they social distance. That's my opinion now, and you're starting to see that in other countries in the world, starting to maybe talk about the responsibility of the individuals more than being told what to do. My personal opinion, I don't run the country, do I? But that's how it's going to be. It looks like we're going to be like this for a little while. It's frustrating and I'm disappointed for our supporters because they're watching from afar, and it would have been an amazing day to be part of here today. Last week would have been an amazing day to be part of. The next few weeks are going to be amazing to be part of, and it's a crying shame that we can't have some kind of some way of allowing people to make the decision to come and watch these games.
And like the first Premiership final, when you're probably just delighted to be there, this time you really want to win this final, don't you?
Yeah, that's the first thing that I said to the players, but you can see it in the players' faces. They're smiling, they're having some fun downstairs, but most of the chat is about performing in the final. It's not about this is the amazing thing. It's not the be all and end all. It's not the end of any story. It's a semi-final. We've got a final to play in. We've got to pull together another really good game plan. as the coaches have done today, and we've got to drive that for 80 minutes. We drive for 80 minutes, we give ourselves a chance. And we've also got before we even get there, we've got 2 games of Premiership Rugby and a Premiership semi-final. And if we take the eye off the ball in any of those, things won't go our way. So we've got a lot of hard work to get on with.
And the Stuart Hogg, Finn Russell sideshow is going to be an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah, let's hope the sideshow gets won by Stuart quite convincingly, hopefully. But I will see. I mean, everyone knows racing. Any team that gets behind and gets semi-final is a good side. And so what has to happen now is we have to be better than a good side, and that's what we've got to aim to do.